Let's get to the hot topic right now. Travis Hunter has decided he's going to follow Coach Prime to Colorado. This, of course, coming after he put out a call to action on Twitter during National Signing Day saying, get my YouTube channel to 100K subs. I'll give you my commitment. So, of course, college football fans, being the chaos that we are, subs, just started rolling. And he went from like 71,000 to 100,000 in a matter of a few hours. I can't tell you how insane that is. Man of his word, Travis Hunter takes a few hours to put a video together. I'm subscribed to the Twitter notification for Travis Hunter and eventually get that little ding on my phone, see the bird pop up, click the link. Long story short, says, you know what? A lot of you thought I was going to go with Coach Prime. Turns out I am going with Coach Prime to Colorado. Now, I want to start off with this. This was not a lock by any stretch of the imagination because Georgia was in the mix, Miami was in the mix, and Colorado winning out at the end of the day. Another situation where people committing to people pays dividends. And he said that in his video. He said, you know what? I wanted to honor my commitment. I gave him my commitment on signing day, going to Jackson State. I'm honoring that commitment. I'm following him to Boulder, Colorado. And so I think there's a lot to take away from this from that perspective. But let's take it a step further. What does Travis Hunter's commitment mean for Colorado? That's great. Now you got a big-time player coming to Boulder, about to wreak havoc on the Pac-12. But what does it mean for the program, Deion Sanders, and Travis Hunter as a whole? The first thing I want to say is it means more players are coming. It means there's a lot more big-time ballers that are already on their way to Boulder here in the very near future. Because for Travis Hunter, development was the main thing he was looking for in his next stop. That's why Georgia was in the mix so heavily, it sounds like. And so for Travis Hunter, for him to have the highest stakes, arguably, of anybody in the transfer portal, and for him to say, you know what, I want to go play for Deion Sanders, I trust him the most with my development, that's going to allow a lot of other players who maybe aren't rated as highly to breathe a little bit easier when they decide they want to follow Deion Sanders to Colorado. We just, as humans, our nature is we like to see other people go first. Think back to your earliest memories of whether you're going on a scary roller coaster, whether you're jumping off the diving board, whether you're doing something new for the first time. You like to see somebody else that you trust do it first. So for Travis Hunter, setting that example, I think that's going to kind of be the first crack in that dam that's going to now break open because of him deciding to follow Coach Prime. He's got a lot to lose, but in his mind as well, a lot to gain. So that projects confidence and belief onto the operation that Deion Sanders is running at Colorado. That, yes, I believe I'm an NFL player from Travis Hunter, and I trust Deion Sanders to get me there. If you haven't yet subscribed, we'd love to have you at the party. We got you covered for Deion Sanders content, covered for Travis Hunter content. Just college football in general is a 12-month-a-year sport. Make sure you're locked in. We have a good time. Also, follow me on the socials at JD Pakel on Twitter and on Instagram. A lot of interaction that we can do there that we can incorporate then into this program. So we appreciate you in advance for doing that. The second thing that I took away from Travis Hunter deciding he's going to follow Coach Prime, expectations now are just going to continue to climb. Because you already knew that there was going to be some top talent that was following Deion Sanders, but it's kind of like the way that I thought about USC and Caleb Williams. If Caleb Williams doesn't follow Lincoln Riley to USC, the conversation then around USC this year would be, okay, well, they got some guys via the portal, I understand that, but he didn't have his guy. He didn't have his key piece in Caleb Williams. I understand quarterback and corner/wide receiver, whatever Travis Hunter ends up playing, potentially both at Colorado, have different impacts. But now that's one less excuse that people are going to allow for Deion Sanders. Meaning in 2023, I want to see some ROI if I'm a Colorado Buff fan. If I'm a college football fan in general, I'm expecting more from Colorado than I had maybe if you don't have that big-time brand name like Travis Hunter. Now the lights are bright. Just like Coach Prime would want them, just like Travis Hunter wants them. They understand that. They asked for that. But now they're going to get a lot more attention and have some expectations that weren't there before or wouldn't have been there if Travis Hunter hadn't decided to follow Coach Prime. Each piece he gets now going forward is going to only build those expectations. So they want it. Like I said, they're excited to have them. They welcome them. No pressure, no diamonds, right? We'll get to that in a second. But that's the reality now. Every time that they get more players now, and Travis Hunter being the biggest one, the optics and the expectations for 2023, not 2024, not down the road. In 2023, they're going to expect some big things from Colorado, and they should. So this is what I think maybe is the most impactful for the future for Colorado and for Deion Sanders, in some ways Travis Hunter. We're now really going to get to see Deion Sanders develop a kid from start to finish. Was at Jackson State with him, will finish his college career with him, barring something crazy happening, and we're going to finally get to have the conversation around, well, Deion's a great coach, great acquirer, if that's even the right word to use, of talent. But what happens when you get to the program? Can you get to the highest level of the NFL ranks? Can you be a first-round draft pick coming from Colorado, playing for a coach in Coach Prime who hasn't been a college coach that long? It's not to knock him. It's just to say the resume is still being written, whereas Kirby Smart, Nick Saban, insert other big-time coach here, they've got a little bit longer of a resume, a few more pages to it. This will be the first time we really get to see Deion's development skills. So, with that being said, if there was a player that you wanted to have your first, I don't know if project's the right word, maybe poster boy is the better term to use there, for Deion Sanders, it's Travis Hunter without question. That is the most ideal prospect for him to develop from freshman year through to the NFL ranks. Why? Because Deion Sanders is making the pitch that I can get you where you want to go because I've been where you want to go. I've been in your shoes, played corner, played receiver. It is just a perfect match in terms of someone that you would have had to pick to be the first guy for Deion Sanders to develop. So I think this is going to work because of those reasons I just said. If it were an offensive lineman or it were a quarterback or it were a running back, you say, yeah, I guess we'll see. You know, I mean, Deion Sanders didn't really play offensive tackle, so he's going to have to do a lot of work to get good coaches around him to make him his best self. Not to say he can't develop an offensive tackle, but for Deion Sanders, from talking to people that played on his team in the high school ranks, they said, yeah, he's a good coach. But when it comes to talking about the defensive back play, he knows what he's doing. Everyone's seen the viral clip going around on Twitter from a few years ago where he's coaching up at the Under Armour All-American game and he's just putting all those young DBs on game. Like, he can develop the defensive back position without question. And the reality is, Travis Hunter's development is how we're going to judge him going forward. If Travis Hunter doesn't reach his potential that we think he has, which is a first-round NFL draft pick, high stakes, high expectations, that's kind of the way it is. We're the number one player in the entire country coming out of high school. We're always going to point back to this decision and say, well, what if he went to Georgia? Georgia develops DBs like it's nobody's business. What if he went to Alabama? Nick Saban, those DBs are pretty much his babies. Like, he takes pride in the secondary and how well they play and how well they project to the next level. But if Deion Sanders gets him to that point that he wants to be at and being a first-round pick, we'll say, man, go play for Coach Prime, achieve your dreams past the collegiate level. Go play in the NFL, you play for Coach Prime. So a lot rides on this for right or wrong for Travis Hunter and Deion Sanders and the future of how we talk about Deion Sanders in Colorado. But I think this is going to work for the exact reasons that I just said. I think Deion Sanders and Travis Hunter, Deion Sanders is the perfect coach from a skill set perspective to get Travis Hunter to where he wants to go. So no pressure, no diamonds. The lights are always bright when Coach Prime is around. I think this is going to work. I'm excited to see it through and excited to see Coach Prime get to see the development through of a one Travis Hunter. Hey, y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.